How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're in versus Cody in the OU tier from the Discord server. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There is a link in the description down below. And looking at the team, they got a really powerful one. They got the Superior, the Dragapult, Donphan, Scizor, Primarina, and the Hydreigon. Pretty awesome stuff. So Meganium looks like it could put some work against the Donphan. If we get a Swords Dance up, you know, we can knock off that Dragapult on all that wonderful stuff. So I'm going to lead with Ribombay. No, I feel like they lead off with Hydreigon here so they can U-turn. You know what? I think a lead with Ribombay is probably still called for because I don't think they'll lead with Scizor. And even if they do, we can just go straight into Iron Moth and go from there. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Cody. So they're going to lead off with Donphan, which is kind of to be expected as we lead off with our Ribombay. So instead of getting the sticky webs up and letting this thing rapid spin in my face, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Stun Spore it first and then go from there and Moonblast and stuff. So we get a Stun Spore off, which is always nice on the Donphan. Nice and shiny Donphan as well. Gotta love it. I don't really like shiny Donphan. It's pretty gross, but you know, it is what it is. Kind of looks cool because it looks like it's like a wheel that's got really muddy. In a way. So they go for a Stone Edge, which definitely takes us down to our Sash right now. And then what we can do is we can go straight for a Sticky Webs if we want to. So I think I will do that. I'll go straight for the Sticky Webs. They may go for a Rapid Spin here, but Sticky Webs are going to be really useful for their team other than the Superior. No, they go for a Rapid Spin to KO us. That makes sense. So we failed miserably on the first turn, the first matchup, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And now all I can think in my head is, do I go into my Meganium? We don't have knockoff on this Meganium, that's my bad. I thought we did for some reason. Or do I go into the Goldengo? I think Meganium could work, so I think I will go Meganium. They definitely switch out if we go Meganium. That's for sure. They definitely switch out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Bullet Seed anyway, just because we may as well. And if they bring the Scizor in, we can Terra Blast that thing into oblivion. We go for a Bullet Seed. They were not expecting this. Well, they might have been. I don't know. But we go for Bullet Seed. I should have mentioned, by the way, I nicked this team off of Pokeaim's website. So there will be a link to the website in the description. You can get loads of teams on there and stuff like that. It could definitely be useful for you. So anyway, they go for a knockoff, knocking off whatever item we've got, which is, of course, the loaded dice. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's go for another Bullet Seed just to get some damage off on this thing. And I'm hoping they bring the Scizor in. That's what I'm hoping for. Bullet Seed comes through. We know it hits 2 times at least, so we know it's definitely getting a KO here. Why does Meganium look so funny when you use Bullet Seed? Like, it shakes its head loads. Like, what's going on there? I don't know. But Meganium got a KO, and that is all that matters to me. Even though we got the load of dice knocked off and all that. I'm hoping they go Scizor here. Scizor could be a really cool thing to go for, but they actually go Hydreigon. So with the Hydreigon coming in right now, we have to switch Meganium out. We can still use Terrify Meganium if we want to later on down the line. I think the best thing for me to do here is expect a U-turn or a Flamethrower and go into Roaring Moon. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Withdrawing my Meganium, I'm going to go into Roaring Moon. If they go for a Draco here on the Meganium, I don't know what to do about that, to be honest with you. So it's risky what we go into. So we get the Photosynthesis in attack as usual. And they go for a Flamethrower, which is exactly what we expected. So that's good. We made the right play for a change. So they're either going to outspeed us because they're Choice Scarfed, or they're not. So I think we're in a very good position here to go for a Dragon Dance. So I'm going to go for the Dragon Dance with a Roaring Moon and hope for the best, pretty much. They do withdraw the Hydreigon. What are they going to go into? Are they going to go into that Primarina real quick? Scizor comes in. Scizor comes in. It's nice and gross and shiny. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like shiny Scizor. It looks better in this game than it did in the last games because of the metallic texture, but still, ugh. Still, ugh. Right, okay, so we don't want to stay in here. We're going to go straight into Iron Moth. Unfortunately, we lose the Photosynthesis on Roaring Moon. I was hoping they wouldn't go Scizor. I was hoping they go Primarina, so like Terra Flying Acrobatics that thing in the face, but I'm not confident that a knockoff would have KO'd the Scizor here, so I may as well just go into Iron Moth, get that Quark Drive boost into our special attack, and then they go for a Bullet Punch, which is going to bounce right off us, right? Yeah, bounces right off us, which is great. So looking at their squad that they've got left, I would say we go for a Fiery Dance here. Yes, I'd say we go Fiery Dance for sure. For sure. They do withdraw the Scizor, which is fair enough. What are they going to go into? The Hydreigon or the Dragapult? Hydreigon comes in. So this thing is a threat right now. Definitely a threat right now. And we go for a Fiery Dance. The fact that they brought this in as well tells me they may, in fact, be a Choice Scarf variant. We will find out in a second if they've got leftovers or not. They don't have leftovers. So I guess we could go for a Dazzling Gleam. Because if they've got Flamethrower, that means they're going to have Draco and Dark Pulse and probably U-Turn. So do they drop a Draco right now? And if so, what's our switch in if they do? I don't think we've got one. So I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam real quick. We do outspeed. They aren't Choice. So we KO the Hydreigon with a Dazzling Gleam, which is fantastic. Dazzling Gleam is not super common on Iron Moth, so they probably wasn't expecting it. Or they were just sacking off the Hydreigon to get a free switch in with whatever they want. Could be that. In comes the Dragapult. So this thing is a threat. If it's Choice Banded Dragonauts KOs. If it's Choice Specs Draco Meteor KOs. So what do we do in this situation? That is the real question. I guess we just let Iron Moth go down. And we haven't Terra'd yet, so we can still Terrafire Meganium on the Scizor. Could be cool. I don't think we need this for much else, because they could very well Terra their Superior into Terastella or Terra Ground or something along those lines. So I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam here, just in case they go for a U-turn. They do go for a Dragon Darts, and it is actually... Do we live? We don't live. There was a critical hit. Damn! Okay, so Iron Moth probably would have lived that by like a sliver of HP. No, my luck, but unfortunately, the fact that they've gone for the Dragon Darts tells me they may be Choice Banded as well. So that's something to watch out for. We could go Great Tusk here. Great Tusk works out pretty nicely. Or we can go into the Photosynthesis. No. There's no point going into that. Let's go into Great Tusk. Great Tusk can definitely take a Dragonauts from this thing, no problem. And we are offensive, so we can definitely take any hit this thing wants to throw at us. So I'm going to go for an Ice Spinner real quick. I'm expecting them to switch out, but I don't really mind going for an Ice Spinner on a Scizor or a Primarina because it means we can go for a Headlong Rush the next turn. They withdraw the Dragapult. What are they going to go into? Superior could be nice. Superior is nice. It is very nice. So they obviously weren't expecting the Ice Spinner. They bring in their nice and shiny Superior. Gotta love it. We go for an Ice Spinner. Hopefully to do a lot of damage here. Over half, which is good. That's good. That's what we like. Over half. Very good. Very good. So what we could do here is we could go for a Terra or we could switch out. I'm leaning towards switching out. Leaning towards the Goldengo. That's what I'm leaning towards, Goldengo. I don't think Goldengo is doing much else for us, so we may as well go into Goldengo right now as our only Pokemon that can switch into a Leaf Storm. There we go, withdrawing my Great Tusk. We're going to go into our good old-fashioned Goldengo, the Gold Rush. And we're going to kind of hope for the best here, but let's float with our Air Balloon and all that stuff. Synthesis comes through. Interesting, so they are Synthesis. We've got an Air Balloon in check. So if the Terra Ground, that's not going to work. And if the Terra Fire, we should be able to live one. And I'm looking at the damage we did with the Ice Spinner from the Great Tusk, and I'm thinking Make It Rain might do something here. Might not at the same time. So I think I will go for a Make It Rain, just to get as much damage on the Superior as possible. I still think Roaring Moon is our win condition, though. Looking at that team, we just need to get a Dragon Dance up. They go for a Leaf Storm to break our Air Balloon. Probably not wanting to reveal what Terra they are, if they are even a Terra variant. But it definitely pops our Air Balloon, and we go for a Make It Rain now. Which should, in theory... Oh, it doesn't do nearly enough damage. That's not enough damage for me, I'm afraid. Not enough damage for me. So I'm assuming that they are not terroring the Superior. That's what I'm going to assume. So they probably go for a Synthesis here. So I'm going to go for a Nasty Plot. They do go for a Synthesis as expected. And then we get a Nasty Plot up, getting us to +1 special attack, which is going to work out really nice for us. So there we go. Nasty Plot comes through. Like so. And I think we're in a much better position now, because now that we're at +1 special attack, because we already had -1 special attack from Make It Rain, we should be good to go straight for another Make It Rain. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. They go for another Leaf Storm. It's going to do a bit more damage, but it's still not enough to KO, as we live in. We live in. And then we're just going to go for a Make It Rain real quick to destroy the Superior. And now we're back to neutral special attack. So Goldengo did well to win that 1v1. I'm guessing they were like Stellar Terra or something, and that's why they didn't bother using it. Or if they already used their Terra. Am I being dumb here? I feel like I might be being dumb. No, they haven't used it yet. No, I'm not being dumb. I mean, I am pretty dumb, but... let's go for a Shadow Ball right now, just to get some damage off on this Scizor. And then we'll kind of just go from there. Shadow Ball comes through. Should do a lot of damage to the Scizor, despite the fact that they are... Yeah, it does half. They go for a knockoff, though. That's going to take out Gold Rush. Even though we haven't got an item, knockoff still had enough base power to take us out. So now we're in a bit of a pickle. Because what do I do here? I'm leaning towards the Great Tusk. I'm leaning towards the Meganium. I don't think Meganium Terra Fire is a smart move at all. I think Meganium may be done for here. But we could go into it and go for an Earthquake. But I think Great Tusk is probably the best option because we've got that Rocky Helmet. We can go for a Headlong Rush and all that wonderful stuff. We're better off sacking off Meganium to something else. So let's go for the Headlong Rush real quick. They go for a Bullet Punch just to get some last ditch effort damage off. We get the Rocky Helmet chip, and then the Headlong Rush is definitely going to KO this thing. As down it goes. This does, however, lower our defensive capabilities. But with the Dragapult being a physical variant, we definitely want to keep Great Tusk around. So if they bring Dragapult in now, we sack it off. If they bring in the Primarina, we go into Meganium. So they go into Primarina. That's fair. Primarina makes sense. We definitely go into Meganium here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I think Roaring Moon may be really good for you taking out this Primarina. That's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Meganium. And I'm hoping that I go down here. If I go down, it means I can bring Roaring Moon in. Terra. Oh, the Ice Beam's on the switch. Nice play. Nice play from my opponent right there. So Betsy is going to go down. This, unfortunately for us, means that we can't really do much here. I'm going to go into Roaring Moon anyway. Go into the Eclipse. Like this. And I'm going to Terastalize and go for a Acrobatics. The reason I'm going for Acrobatics over Dragon Dance right now is because they may be locked into Ice Beam if they're choice specs. Which means we have to either KO now or weaken it to the point where Great Tusk can come in and finish it off. So let's go for that Terra Flying Acrobatics like so. There's no reason to Terra our Great Tusk, that's for sure. So we'll Terra Flying this thing like that. And we'll just go for an Acrobatics. It should do the trick. Should do the trick. So we go for an Acrobatics like so. And hopefully this takes it out. Hopefully it does close. Yeah, that's close enough. Close enough for me. Ice Beam comes through. And that is going to KO us, unfortunately. So, we got a crit. The crit definitely didn't matter, though. I know he's not stabbed and everything, but Roaring Moon doesn't have the best special defense in the world. And it's a Primarina. They hit really hard. So, yeah. We got enough damage off, though, which is nice. So, let's go into our Great Tusk. Good old Tuscany. And the only problem I've got now is that Rapid Spin probably won't KO from here. But Headlong Rush is our only option, really. Which means we're going to have to lower our defenses for the Dragapult. So, it all comes down to this. Whether or not a -1 defense Great Tusk can live a hit from the Dragapult. That's what it comes down to, unfortunately. And the Dragapult's at full HP, so Ice Spinner may not even KO here. We may have lost to this Dragapult real quick. Well, Dragapult comes in. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. It's at full HP, obviously, so I'm leaning towards Headlong Rush. I think Headlong Rush does more because it's higher base power and it's stab. So I think I will go for a Headlong Rush here. I think that does more damage than Ice Spinner does. I don't think it KOs. So they are going to Terastalize. Are they going to go Dragon to get the maximum output of damage from the Dragon Darts? I'd say probably the case. Fire. The Terra Fire. So if we do land this Headlong Rush right now, we can do this. They've done that because they're expecting an Ice Spinner. They go for a Dragon Darts. Doesn't even KO unless they get a crit here. No KOs for you. I went for a Headlong Rush. Boom. Down goes the Dragapult and we're able to just barely win. What a game. That was a really fun one. I hope you all enjoyed that one. And I definitely did. GG Cody. That was a really fun one. I enjoyed that. But anyway, here's the team. Try it out if you want to. Use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Obviously, this was made by someone for PokeAim, and I nabbed it off PokeAim's website. So go ahead and check the website out. There's loads of teams on there for you to try. Really cool. They even have like a randomizer option to randomize the team, but it's currently down, I think. It wasn't working for me when I tried to use it earlier. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.